So guys, it's David here and it's currently day 270. I hope you guys had a good day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 5:51. Yes, I woke up a little bit later than usual. Not sure exactly why, but I did have some time to sleep just a little bit more, which means I do feel a little bit more energized, which is great. So this morning, I am officially going to start my second project. Now, I know I said I was going to start it last night, and I did. Somehow, I planned a little bit more, but today is when I actually began it. Very excited because it is going to be the second milestone I take off that will reach or contribute to my bigger version, my bigger purpose. So, that being said, let's get started and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Hey guys, it is currently 9:35. Finished my first work block, so what I had done is just pretty much lay out the web user interface part of my next project, and it is so far looking pretty good. I have gotten better. I have managed to code it much faster, so I'm very proud of that. But certainly, there's still a lot of things to do, and I'm not even close to finishing, and there will be definitely a lot of challenges along the way that I have to overcome eventually. Before I can do that, I want to go to the gym and I gotta go see my professor. So when I come back from all of that, then I can focus, then I can get back right into the work. But talking about challenges today, what I want to talk about today is also that how can we do things when we don't feel like it? Or how can we get over this mental hurdle of I don't want to do it or that the challenge or task is too difficult for us to do it? And let me tell you guys, it's actually not about discipline. It's actually not about willpower. Like, yeah, sure, willpower and discipline will help you push through the pain, will help you work through the times when you don't want to do it. But to be effective at doing something when you least feel like it is to change your mindset, is to change how you view the situation. And one way I found this to be effective to do such thing is have negative visualization, not positive visualization where you think about who you will become or the great riches you will get for doing it. That perhaps is kind of ineffective because the future is unpredictable. And you can imagine all you want thinking that you are driving the next Mercedes or that you are at the clubs throwing down 100 bands at the strip holes. But is that really something that you can predict? Is that really something believable? Because a lot of the times we try to fool ourselves that if we just visualize that we're going to become this next billionaire and that if we visualize and we'll become the next motivational speaker or inspiration influencer, and by only focusing on who we will become, the uncertain future, it only creates a more of a barrier with who we are now and how far we have to overcome or how many challenges we have to overcome. So, thinking about who we want to become or thinking about the positive side of what we will become by doing the task, by doing X and Y, may only distance us from doing the things, may only bring up more worry about us becoming who we want to be. Because thinking forward is always an uncertain path. But to act in the present, to think about who we will become now if we don't do the things, to think about what we will lose, that becomes more real. Because we know that if we don't do something now, we are going to lose something. And in most cases, what I had realized is we will risk something out of our comfort zone to avoid losing something. And seldom would we risk something that is for an uncertain gain. So therefore, if we think about all the things that we could lose if we don't do it now, that if we don't do the work right now, we are not going to be rich. If we don't go to the gym now, we are going to get fat. If we think about the worst case scenario and realize that if we don't do something, if we don't take action now, then we are actually losing what we already have rather than gaining, rather than an unpredictable gain in the future, that will be itself a more motivational push for us to act now. is to think about what we will lose rather than focusing on what we can gain. Because the future is uncertain. And we can say all of this positive visualization of who we want to become, of what we want to get. But at the end of the day, all we know is that that is only a tactic to beguile ourselves. That is only a tactic that we try to trick ourselves. And sometimes it works. But in most cases, we are not willing to risk something more for an unfortunate gain than an intimate loss. So I suggest that you should focus on what you could lose today if you don't take action. And don't focus on who you will become if you take action. Because once you realize that you could lose a lot more if you don't move forward with your project, if you don't move forward with your self improvement journey, then you will realize that life will suck more. Then you will realize that what you have now isn't enough, and by not doing anything more about it, you are going to lose more of what you already don't have. So, that being said, I am gonna go get some food in my body and get ready to go catch the train. But obviously, today has been a tremendous start at the moment. Like I said, starting my project since 5 days into the week definitely has been something I have been procrastinating about. But today, doing the work, just doing something out of the comfort zone, definitely is the ideal way to go. So, definitely not going to lose steam. A lot of things to do when I come back. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, it is currently 2:45. Just came back from leg session, Bulgarian split squats, Romanian deadlifts, calf raises, smashed them. Absolutely amazing session. But obviously, before I went to train, I didn't want to do it. But I realized if I don't do it, then I'm gonna lose muscle. If I don't do it, then I'll become smaller. Not because if I go I might get jacked, but because if I don't do it, I'll lose the muscle I already have on me, the bare minimum I already have on me. So I couldn't risk that. So I went to the gym, and the workout, well, it was absolutely amazing. But the point I'm making is, I wouldn't have had an amazing workout if I didn't step into the gym. And like a lot of things in life, guys, we won't see the result or have an amazing experience if we don't do it. And to do something when we don't feel like doing it is to realize that if we don't do it today, no matter what that may be, then we are going to lose something today. If you don't approach someone today, then you may lose someone. If you don't start on your project for your business, then you may lose money. If you don't go to the gym, then you may get more fatter or you may lose more muscle. So if we keep on focusing on the uncertain future, then we may not ever act because we can't keep on lying to ourselves that if we just imagine that we will become someone eventually if we just put in the effort and do the right things. If we keep on telling ourselves these lies, we ourselves won't even believe them because we know we are full of shit at the end of the day. Because, like, how can you believe yourself if you're sitting on the couch, if you're playing video games, and you're trying to visualize that I'm gonna be the next millionaire or I'm gonna be the next bodybuilder? Like, how can you fool yourself that? Because we can't. And you know that you are bullshitting to yourself. So, trying to visualize what may happen in the future may demotivate you, may not make you act because you are not losing anything. And like I have said before, we are willing to risk more when we know there is something to lose rather than hoping for something to gain. So the next time when you are lazy, the next time when you are procrastinating, just remember and just visualize exactly what you will lose today if you don't do anything about it. And maybe just a slight chance that will be enough for you to realize that you need to get life going, that you need to start doing something because every day that you don't do something and every day that passes is an opportunity missed. It's a day where you could have improved and grown. And that compounded over time will result into what you want to become in the future. That will compound into the person you want to be. But first, understand if you don't do anything today, you are going to lose that opportunity to be that person. But for me, guys, this afternoon, I plan on doing these modules that my job sent me to do before I start my first shift. Now, it is very urgent and somewhat important because if I don't do them, then, well, that's not a first impression, well, good first impression. So I'm going to do that. And I guess the plus side is I get paid for it. So some does for that. But after that, I am going to head into my second work block. But I do estimate that itself, the learning modules will take around 2 to 3 hours. I'll try to do them faster, but that is just a rough estimate. So without further ado, let me get started to what I must do, because if I don't do this, then I'm going to lose something. And that may just be losing the job opportunity. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So, guys, it is currently 6:05, and for the past few hours or so, I have been finishing my pre-start work induction type stuff for my new job. And it took so long, and I still have a little bit left to go, but it's pretty much the basic, right? Work health and safety, how to do this and that. Pretty much just common sense, but it is unfortunately required. And by unfortunate, I mean it has been a time sink. It has taken a lot of time away from what I could have done today. That being said, I haven't even read yet. So definitely I am behind in schedule. But the good thing is today is Friday. Not that Friday is special or that the weekend's coming up, but I guess it's Friday, right? So I still have time to do what I want to do tonight, so that's totally fine. And the plan that means for the evening will be to quickly have food, just quickly shove that stuff down my throat and come back up and then do what I have to do. Start off from reading, get my mind back into the rhythm, and then just go right into completing my web layout for my second project, which is super, super exciting. But that pretty much wraps it up for today, as I haven't really done much with my life today besides the first work block. And then I quickly went to meet my professor for a meeting, which was always pleasant because we built a alright, or I guess formal relationship, which means it is always a ideal time to spend together. But that being said, guys, this has been my Friday, and tomorrow Saturday will be my rest day. But I made the mistake last week to take the whole day off for myself, and that proved to be very ineffective, and I felt very shitty afterwards. So definitely tomorrow I won't have the whole day off, but rather I only have a few hours off to rejuvenate my mind, because that is all we need, guys. We don't need to rest for a whole day. Sometimes resting for an hour is more than enough, to me at least. And anything else, in my opinion, is becomes a squander of what is your valuable time. That being said, I hope you guys had learned something from this today, but if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.